Well, fuck you, Craig, and welcome back to the 145th rendition of Cooped Up Conversations with Aaron, Joey, Pro
Just the boys today.
And Sabrina, and me, Cooper. Just the boys today. No Pro Cop. Out of commission. Daddy daycare duties. He wants to do a Sunday daytime podcast. That's when he said he's available.
Who?
Pro
the
Cop.
Father?
Daddy Pro Cop.
Do we have to go to him?
No, he can do. We can probably just do a Discord one.
We'll get hammered on Sunday. During the day.
Why not? Why not? I got nothing going
We're
on
gonna do
Sunday.
it Saturday too.
Oh, I need rent money, by the way.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Let's send it right now.
Can we do that right now live on the pod?
Live.
We'll do it right now live on the pod.
I'll send it over tomorrow
to our
morning.
slumlord Kathy. Our heat doesn't work. It's up to 55 in here.
Do you know what I would say our landlord
How
is
much
kind
is
of a
it?
bit like? She's kind of like.
It's it.
What's the number again? Just look what you last
It's at
sent me.
3-3.
It's 1150. It's 1150 each.
Yeah, 1150.
Okay.
I feel like she's kind of like how like leftists describe Democrats, where it's like,
Oh, she's a northern liberal. Dude.
no,
She's
but I'm
not
saying
like
is she like, it's like she like means
Can
well.
I make my note? Conor McGregor
It's actually
for president?
11:33, so that can be for Wi-Fi too.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi was. I just got the bill for electricity or whatever it is.
I'm gonna
No,
do
it's
it
not,
separate, just like keep
wasn't it like
track.
140 for 2 months?
No, that's the gas in the
Oh,
Wi-Fi was 80,
okay.
so that kind of works still.
Okay.
Can I make my
I only
note?
have $195 in my account. I don't know
Conor
how
McGregor
my
for
savings
president.
account is overdrawn. They told me I could
What do you
take
say,
my
Joey?
fucking
You can
money.
say whatever you want.
Name it Conor. Are you private?
Yeah,
Cool.
I send it as private.
I just send it publicly. I don't care.
I've never sent something public since like college.
Sometimes I forget to change it.
Is it gonna be public or not?
If you say
Why does
Conor
it
McGregor for who's gonna care?
Yeah. Also,
don't
who
know.
cares?
Who's gonna care?
Yeah, I was gonna start the podcast like that. We were officially throwing our hat in the ring. We'll be the first podcast. I just kicked Sabrina to endorse Conor McGregor for president of Ireland. Of Ireland. We don't want him in
Not
America.
America.
Get the fuck out of here, Conor. You're not welcome in America.
Honestly, who else? Dude, they got a little fucking. The president clearly doesn't do anything because they have the.
Their president's a little leprechaun guy, right?
Yeah, is he still
But
kicking?
the president is kind of like the king there, where he doesn't mean anything. They just like he lives in the park,
Yeah,
and
there's
they
a
kind of
prime
like in a little
minister,
hobbit
right?
house. But their president is a gay Indian man.
I thought that was the UK
No.
guy.
No,
That's the UK. I thought the
UK had
I
that
thought
guy.
the Irish president was the little dwarf.
yeah, but
guy
that's
with
not
the
like
big
the
dogs.
real leader.
No, I know it's a prime minister.
Yeah, I'm saying the prime minister is like
What is a
gay
prime
Indian.
minister then?
The gay, like the guy who actually has political power.
Wait, so who is the leprechaun?
the little
the
guy,
president.
O'Higgins. He's the president. O'Higgins with his
So
dogs.
their president is like their king.
Essentially, in a sense, like yeah, it does
What a
nothing.
silly-
He does nothing.
I think it's basically like England, where it's like a parliament, and that's who's in charge, and the head of parliament's a prime minister.
Yeah, but
Who votes for a
their
prime
prime minister got caught cheating on his boyfriend at the George.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was like imagine that little country. Like Biden couldn't even walk into a fucking McDonald's in rural Montana without, and this guy can just like, be like, you know what I think I can do? Go to the biggest gay nightclub in Dublin and start making out with the dude. No one will see it.
That is very funny that's where my card got declined after 5 days. My dad had to call me and be like, "You're at the George? What is that?" It's a bar.
It's a bar, Dad. It's not gay.
I'll look it up.
Don't fucking Google it. It's not gay. Dude, every time I go there, because I'm always there, they're like, don't ask why, guys. But they're always like, have you
Take
ever,
that on, by the way.
they're like, have you ever been here before? Yeah, I have. And it's honestly not like that interesting in the
Some
sense.
of those drag dancers could fool you if you're.
No, but not even that. They're like, do you know what this? Do you know where you're going into? It's like it's a normal bar.
Luxurious.
It just
They said that
happens
to
to
us
be
the
gay.
first time
Like,
we
it's-
went in too. They're like,
That's what I'm saying.
They picked us out of line.
You know
like,
what?
Those guys are not.
I think they probably
thought
do
we were
that.
gonna fuck with
Yeah,
them.
but we have Tim in front of us leading the charge, like you
Yeah,
know what I
but I
mean?
don't
Like
know.
he's like Madonna.
No, I think realistically what they're doing is to make sure people know it's a gay bar. Like, have you been here before? Like,
Yeah, it's fair, but there's gay flags everywhere. It just looks
Yeah,
gay
but,
from the
like-
outside.
yeah.
Yeah, but we're American tourists. Like we could be.
Dude, half of Somerville has gay flags on it.
Yeah, we could be dumb.
That's true.
Yeah, I caught you last week, dude. I
Shout
saved
out
your
the
ass.
George,
It was like
though.
48 minutes
If
in.
you guys are ever in Dublin-
I went back to it like 3 times. I'm like, did he say that?
Go to the George if you're ever in Dublin. I think give it,
It
a
was a
go.
good time.
Give it a go.
drinks-
Bathroom was
so
fantastic,
expensive.
but you couldn't do blow in the bathroom. They made sure to really.
Had a nice outdoor area.
I did blow in
for,
the-
for Ireland.
Outdoor was great. That's where
It
we
was
met the.
for Ireland. It was good patio.
They
That's
have.
where we met the
I found a new
lesbians
spot
and
if we go back. By the way, I found a few new spots we'll be
We're
hitting
going
up.
next St. Patrick's Day.
Jury buildings.
Next summer.
Should we just go for Patty's Day? But even
I'll
just
go.
yeah, let's
My
do it.
JetBlue miles are adding up.
Yeah, we should go.
And they got flights from JetBlue.
I don't know if I'll be able to take time off.
What about
during the
like
week.
take a Friday off and leave Sunday?
So you're
I
sick
need
Monday.
like my full 2 weeks next year. That's unfortunate
Oh, that's true.
for August. Like, I
I'll
can't-
save my time because I'm coming to that one every week we have.
Yeah, the bar trip.
What are we doing?
We're going to Ibiza.
We're going to Ibiza.
Lame. I'm gonna
What do you
come.
mean, dude?
Dude, we're doing the European tour next summer, dude.
We're doing the European tour.
I better be getting my bonus. Boss, if you're listening to this, by the way, stop telling people about the podcast, please, if you're listening to this.
Yeah. That's how I've been feeling about. That's how Joey and I have been feeling about you, Cooper.
I don't
Since
tell
it's-
anybody. I only tell people when I'm drunk.
That's the worst.
No, that's fine, because everybody's having fun. There's like, oh, by the way, I do a podcast, and they're not going to listen to it. Who cares?
They might.
If they listen to it, good. We need money, dude. We need to make money. So that way,
Do you ever?
we should. Do they have podcasts in Ireland yet, or are they?
They do. I listen to one.
Because if I don't move to New York, I'll move to Dublin for a year, and we just become the biggest podcast in Ireland. Make $50 a month.
I say
The
we
best
just
thing about
say-
the
We
podcast-
just say we're in Ireland.
We're actually in Ireland right
We
now.
should
like
just call our
Southie or something.
podcast like Yanks Abroad and just be, like start off being the corny like in America we do things this way. In
You guys
Ireland
have pizza in Italy.
you guys have you ever had a spice? Like do all that, get the Irish people to be like Americans try to pronounce Irish names. Get them in and then we just start talking about like
So what do you feel about the migrants?
what's your true opinion?
At what point?
Hey Seamus, how do you feel about
I do like how I do like seeing Europe burn.
Yeah.
After they talked so much shit about us during 2020.
They're all like far right now.
that entire
they're going far
continent?
right. There's another coming. There's another wave of Europe that I think
Dude,
they're not ready
always
for.
had it there, dude.
It started
It's
with
always
the
been inside them.
It started with the Italian Mussolini's granddaughter coming back to Italy, and it's slowly going to.
And then there's Vox in Spain and that French woman who always loses, but she's like this close. I
She's
was like,
getting
they're-
close.
Like she's
Next year I'll get you.
That's how they get you, one at a time, baby steps.
slowly but surely.
She's like, I'm literally Mussolini's
I'm
like granddaughter.
Mussolini's granddaughter.
It's good for the right, but like the difference is that the right in Europe aren't schizos. They actually talk
It's
about
hard to say that historically, but yeah.
okay, like the Nazis were the greatest example of schizos actually gaining power, but in terms of like the general like right in Europe, it's more like they can actually. I'm not saying I agree with it, but they at least are coming from a place where you can follow their train of thought, and that's why they can get power and votes. Where here they're like, yeah, the sun is. There's actually 3 suns. It's just you can't see it. You
Earth
need
is
to
flat.
unlock your third eye, and you
Yeah.
can't see it because the Jews have hidden your third eye.
Dude, the crazy thing about the far right is that they are so close to being the far left, except they're like their morals are just slightly different. Like instead of being like, oh, there's like a fucking your chakras and shit, they think Jews are controlling.
No.
5G
The
towers.
far left is like, guys, capitalism, not great. Far right, like, no, capitalism good, but the Jews are ruining it. The Jews are ruining capitalism.
Yeah, they're so close together, but they can't talk to one another.
I
Honestly,
think
it's
this
probably
new
good they
conflict is
can't.
starting to bring them a little bit together.
Yeah, yeah.
You get both extremes kind of going one way.
I hate to say it, Cooper and I were talking about this, and I think we shouldn't take our stance personal, but the left destroyed itself, I think. This has ruined it for
They're
them.
fumbling the bag. You can't be protesting outside of hostages' houses. You can't be doing
Yeah,
that.
because I remember when this started, they had a good go because
Oh,
it was just videos of Israel committing war crimes. And
were winning
anything
the PR
anyone with a
battle.
brain is like, guys, that's bad, right?
No,
You're like, that's bad. But then they started like cheering every time they found out like. There'll be like an old Israeli grandma who was born there. There's like dementia, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we need to gas her." And it's just like, what?
guys, we're going too far.
So you guys are.
The horseshoe.
So they were protesting outside Jimmy Carter's wife's fucking.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter, by the way, looked like the fucking lady from SpongeBob, like with the fucking
no.
chocolate.
Fucking.
His mouth was agape, dude. Put that man down.
Can't believe she died first, to be honest.
She was younger than him. Actually, I think they were the same.
I
age.
think
he
they're
was,
holding-
he was like supposed to die like 3 months ago or something like that. They're like, "This is it, guys." And
He's in
he
hospice
kept going.
still.
Yeah, that's
doesn't
what I
look-
mean.
Imagine leaving hospice. He's the first man ever to
Probably
leave
no
hospice.
idea that his wife died, dude. Probably no idea.
They probably have like fucking clothespins behind him,
Dude, I
keeping
don't think
his
he could
skin
pro-
from falling apart.
Looking at how he looked he must sleep 23 and a half hours a day and then is incapable of speaking. Like, there's no way that guy's functioning.
Do you ever think about how if you make it to life, the highest you'll ever be in your life is like around then? Because you're just full of everything.
But you can't
Like,
enjoy it. You don't even know you're high. You just think you're dying.
But I think you're so high you don't realize you're dying. Like, you're so fucking like high on opiates and shit.
I just
and, like,
don't want to be that old. Like, the human body is not built to be that old. It's not designed for it.
It's like seeing like when you know like dog's like 18 years old and its legs don't even work.
Yeah, and it's just like walking around. It can barely find the food bowl. It sleeps all day. It's like
that's
time.
It's kind of like, yeah.
I think we should live forever.
If we
I don't
could,
think
yeah,
so.
that's why like but he's like living forever is cool if you like stop aging at like 50.
It's not even. You guys aren't even thinking about the real true issue, which is your mental collapse. I can already feel my mental collapse.
That's
happening.
the only thing I'm afraid of.
You don't want to. You don't want a
body goes.
250-year-old dude who like think of like boomers now. Do you want those people to live forever? And we're gonna be just as bad. I know we had this fucking debate before, but like our age group, the proof is in the pudding. Like you were talking about this, people are already insane. They just think like the thing is we're just as self-righteous, but we don't have the like perspective of being like, oh, we're also fucking absurd. Like,
yeah, we're gonna blow it.
Millennials are a fucking mess. They're just so fucking sad. They're a depressing age. It's terrible. Their kids are fucking monsters who run the house. Every fucking child, like, dude, I went to a fucking kid's birthday party the other day. It was fucking miserable, dude. None of those people, for the most part, maybe cut it. I'll cut this part. But millennials, a lot of them should not be having kids. It's probably good they're not having kids. Because they're fucking monsters, dude. And their parents didn't give a fuck. So they're going to be like, oh, I give a fuck, but I'm still not going to do anything. I'm still going to let you do whatever the fuck you want and run an iPad. Apparently, none of them can read.
Because they're going to be
I heard it.
the whole time.
I thought it was. That's
I've
crazy.
been seeing everything online and like articles, TikToks, everything.
No, I believe you
Teachers
then.
being like, the high school students are incapable of writing sentences.
If you go on the Reddit teacher subreddit, it's like
See, this is only because of my
gotta think
personal
when-
experience with the 2-year-old that I like hang around a bit, but because he's like started to be on his iPad. and shit. This kid can like read and write already, and he's like 2. So I just assumed that staring at like letters on your screen all day actually was kind of working.
I think the real
that was my
issue is
silver
not
lining.
writing on the computer. It's
Yeah.
like being able to translate that to like actual text, like writing out essays and stuff like you did in school, not typing them.
But like, why do you need to write?
I don't
with
even
your
think it's
hand?
that. I think it's like they just can't write anything over like 140 characters.
Jesus Christ.
Their life is in tweets, yeah. Their life is in tweets. And honestly, I think that age group is going to be more like how millennials were when they were kids, where like once they get a little bit older, they're going to be fucking reckless. And it's just going to be like, it's honestly going to be probably good for us because like we need the younger people to be monsters so they get canceled and not us. Because like I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but like our digital footprint from when we were 12 years old, you are if you're sitting here in your fucking car listening to this and going like, I have a perfect record
Nope.
online. I promise you don't. You've said every single person has said something at some point online that if it were to be leaked, your life is over. You need these fucking kids to start literally causing havoc, not committing hate crimes, but like damn near close to it. Because they caught somebody insider trading from an Xbox Live party from like 2 years ago. I don't know how the fuck they have that information, but imagine game chat from MW2 getting leaked. Every single human being who played that game when we were younger. Horrifying things.
We'd be done.
But anyways, yeah, no, we're definitely... I can't wait for the boomers to die just solely because hopefully the property gets opened up. I would love to be able to...
That's the thing I was thinking too. It's like I don't ever see these property prices going down.
They will never go down because until you stop big corporations from buying single-family homes, like no one's ever going to buy a house.
It's just never gonna. And even if they don't, there's still not enough houses. Even if you gave them to the people, I don't even think. There's just simply not as many houses as there are people. So like the demand, why would it go down?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Like unless there's like a new COVID and all the boomers go out, and then all of a sudden all these houses open up.
If you are elderly, you should be forced to sell your home. That's my opinion.
At least give it to your kid.
You either have to pass it down to a direct descendant, or you need to sell it by your 80th birthday. Like, you don't need a house anymore. Time to put you in a fucking apartment with no windows.
I think
Get
that's
some
half the
opiates.
problem too, is because they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to move. I should move. I should downsize to an apartment." And then they're like, "Look at these apartment prices." It's like I can't.
Apartment prices are affordable for old people.
No, they are, but they still think it's like $50 for a month.
Dude, I was in r/Dublin, and some person, like, the post was one of those, like, do I stay here? Do I get out? Just this city's getting too expensive. And then the text was like, me and my partner both work in tech. We make and our rent is $4,100 a month, and that's like basically like half the rent. So basically, entire person's salary. And like the entire comment section was like, it's not that bad. Like, you can move like 5 minutes down the street.
That's the thing, like,
You can
Dublin's
move
like
$4,100. I know.
$4,100 in Dublin is like indescribable. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, you are so moved. They're like,
That's why, like, I don't think like the whole immigrant guy. Well, even if he was an immigrant or whatever, but like whoever got stabbed, I feel like they're a little pissed about more than just that. You know what I mean? I think
do you
they're pissed about the Irish people, dude. It seems like they.
Oh
they
yeah,
got
it is
no
beyond
hope.
that. It's not just.
It's like I feel like there's no hope for an Irish person right now.
That's why
It's
they
pretty
leave, dude.
miserable.
Yeah.
Those people.
I mean, it's a beautiful island for them to be miserable as they are.
It's really not.
Well, dude, it's because you can't build
It's
anything
pretty.
there.
Compared to most of the world, dude, it's pretty pretty. If you're not living in the coast or in the mountains, that's
It rains a
like,
lot,
what do you
but-
think? Like, dude, half of Europe is uglier than Ireland. Easy, half of Europe is uglier than Ireland.
At least the eastern half.
I can name.
At least the eastern half.
Eastern half has mountains.
If you don't think, if you take out Italy, Spain, like any
Look
of
up Slovenia, look up Slovakia, look up Croatia,
No,
look
we
up
should-
fucking Greece.
no, we
look
should-
up
we should watch
Spain,
Banshees after this.
Austria,
Yeah, but-
Switzerland, Norway,
even the
fucking
but
Russia.
if you
It's
don't- if
a
you go
green
to-
rock on an island.
Norway might. I mean,
No, if you go to
Ireland might
fucking
be
the
the
middle
bottom
of
half.
Greece, dude, it's not that pretty. I guarantee it.
It's pretty.
I think it's the
Greece.
bottom half, but I think it has a charm to it.
I think the charm comes from the
because
people.
because I don't know, the rolling fields isn't something that Europe really has too much of. Compared like us, we could see a rolling fucking field.
Yeah, it's called Poland.
Down the street.
It's called Poland.
Poland does, sure, but like I'm
The
talking.
breadbasket, yeah.
But like you go to Netherlands, dude, you can't
They have the
throw a
tulips.
stone without hitting a fucking
The
like
tulips
a
are enough
house.
with the tulips.
Enough
dude.
with the tulips.
You get tulips
That's
for like 2 months a week.
yeah.
Enough for the
Yeah.
tulips. Enough.
Ireland is probably prettier than
It's prettier than
England.
No.
Yes, it is.
It's not. Because
It
it's
is.
the
It's
same. It
at
has
least
just
on-
Scotland's better.
Scotland might be better.
Wales is cool. There's also
Wales
some
is
good
not cool.
parts of England itself up north.
But at the end of the day, Ireland's just
Germany
that, but
was
more
a
so.
dump. Germany was not a pretty.
It's a very pretty country.
I did not think it was pretty at all.
If you go down towards
It's a
Bavaria,
yeah,
it's a little
dude. We were in
But
the
that's
worst
different.
part of Germany. That not Germany. Like no one.
But even the worst part of Ireland that we went to was still not.
But like Berlin isn't like really Germany. Like Germany's West Germany. And like the South Germany.
Here's the
That's
problem.
like Germany. Like they have the mountains and like fucking that Disney castle.
I think
the
mountains
Black
are so overrated. I'm so out of mountains.
I'm like, I will die in mountain hills for the rest of my life.
No, mountains are cool, dude. But like, I would so much rather look at ocean than mountains any day.
Oh, I just have to disagree so much with you there.
I'm an ocean guy myself.
Ocean does nothing for
But
me.
I like-
Stare at
I
it, I'm
like
all
the-
right.
Mountains are fucking dumb. It's like, oh, it's a hill with fucking
I
snow
think
on
the
top.
mountains
Cool.
with the ocean is
Yeah, that's
Mountains
the,
with the ocean's perfect.
that's
That's
like
perfect,
a Norway,
like-
Alaska type vibe.
But dude, like Colorado, like I enjoyed it, but then I was kind of like, this is kind of like.
But the reason I rather live near the ocean is because that's where fucking people with incentive live, and civilization
The ocean
tends to
gives
be
you
near the
incentive,
ocean.
yeah.
But in terms of like just looking pretty, like I'd rather stare at a view of like the mountains.
Nah,
I'm more attached to areas around the ocean though.
I just think there's a vibe around the sea. You got the salt in the air, like it's just like.
Yeah.
But I think that
it's
vibe
a
comes
classier
from
lifestyle.
like no, but I think that comes from like being like everything important in the world is like on an ocean. So we like you would conflate that with like
I would argue if everything important is on the ocean, it's probably better.
yeah, it is better because the
Yeah.
sea is important. But purely just looking at it, I'm more impressed looking at a giant mountain.
I honestly am not impressed by mountains. I think they're dumb.
I the only thing I think at this point that gets me like outside of a city is being like, wow, like that's a cool fucking mountain.
We're
But,
also
like, I
really
look at
used to
mountains
oceans.
for 2 days, dude, and I'm like, all right, dude.
I look at the ocean for 15 minutes and I'm like,
But you
alright.
don't appreciate because you lived by an ocean. You have to understand the beauty, the power of the ocean. There's no power in
I
mountains.
do think that's
the ocean
something.
is incredible in terms of its power. It's just like it's
But that's
flat.
part of it.
It's
You
too
feel
flat.
the energy, dude. You feel the energy. You see the waves crashing.
It's
you
too
hear it.
flat. It's too flat.
I think. I don't know. Imagine like you're from Kazakhstan or something. You've never seen the ocean before in your life. I bet seeing that would trip you out.
Yeah, because it's so
time.
vast. Like,
of course,
but it's like endless. To like think you're looking at the ocean and then be like, literally half of the
but
globe
imagine
away
seeing a
is the
mountain
next
that's
fucking
like
thing.
rises 20,000 feet.
I've seen a mountain that rises that tall, and
none of us have.
What are you talking about?
No mountain. None of us have been.
The fucking one in Colorado I went to is the tallest point in all of North America.
It's not though. The
It
tallest.
is,
I can no.
Besides the one in Alaska, continental U.S.
The tallest point
it was
is
like 19,000 feet.
Is in California. And it's 14,000 feet.
No way, look it up. Look up Pikes Peak.
I will prove you wrong right now.
Pikes Peak. Look it up.
Pikes Peak.
They fucking said it on the mountain.
They literally lied to you. So
they said it on the mountain. Why would they be lying? Sabrina's pissed, dude.
But here's the other point, though, is that the mountains in Colorado also are so overrated because they start at like 40,000 feet above sea level, and our mountains are so tall, and it's like it looks like Mount Washington. It just has 10,000 feet of elevation. That's because the way they measure mountains is really stupid because they start like. But the one in like Alaska literally rises out of the sea, so it's straight like 20,000 feet of nonstop.
What is it called? It's not called
Mount Whitney is the highest peak in the continental U.S.
Look up Pikes Peak. I want to know.
It's 14,490. Like, look up. Look
up Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak. Look up. Fucking. What's that mountain in fucking Washington? The volcano.
St. Helen.
No, the big Rainier. Mount Rainier. Look at that mountain. That thing is. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, cool, dude. It's a fucking mountain.
Pikes Peak is 14,000 feet.
Okay, so it's just about the same.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like cheating because they're like.
That's probably why they counted it as taller, because it probably started off taller. That was cool driving up. I just don't like living in the mountains.
Oh no, I agree. I'd rather live on the coast. It's just
cool.
I'm more impressed looking at mountains.
I'm more impressed by mountains is because I normally don't see.
Yeah, I mean that's it too. That's fair. It's just like I'm like all right, like
there's something about a city on a body of water that just gets.
That's why like Boston,
like Denver didn't do it for me, but like you fly into Boston.
Well, you can't really build like I've seen that city in like Bolivia. It's not pretty. I'll admit it. It's just like La Paz or whatever. It's on the mountain. It's not pretty. I would say coastal cities are prettier. I'll give you that.
The only thing I like the Swiss mountain towns.
No, that's what I.
That's
no,
like
I think that's cool too. Like
I could live in that
because humans have been living there. That to me, that's why like people like talk about nature and it's better in America, and I can agree with that to some extent. But I also like that Europe's been lived in so long that they have like
been lived in just as long.
Don't be that fucking person.
Well, so yeah,
that's your definition of live.
Yeah, sorry. They've lived in it for so long, meaning like what, dude? But like it's important because it's European, and not because the people who lived here they're not important. They've been here just as long, or they were.
Show me a Yirlfloden.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have them there. Yirlfloden.
I don't know what that is either.
I made up a word.
It sounds pretty.
It's just cool that they have like little villages, like you said, in the mountains.
I like the little villages
like
in the mountains.
It's like a mix between humanity and nature. I like that.
I don't know. At some it'd be cool to live there. But when I do look at it, I do think if I see one of those ancient ones, I'm like, you guys really haven't done shit for the past.
What do you mean ancient years?
It's not ancient. Like where the Swiss village, you know, the ones where it's like, how much would you pay to live here? And it's just like a big glass wall.
Yeah.
I would pay any amount of money to live there. But I'm saying I'd look out there every now and then and be like, people have lived here for 1,000 years. You guys haven't done fucking shit here.
You guys, the Swiss were like, you know what, guys? We haven't done much. So I have two ideas. They stood together. The Swiss leaders stood together.
We were really banking on the whole 1940s.
We're gonna. We haven't amounted to everything, but we're gonna open up a bank.
But it's the same thing with Ireland, when you see the Banshees of Sharon, and then oh, we saw that. It's like, why is this?
Why is this?
You guys haven't done shit.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, protect the quaint. It's like.
I think the ocean is so attached to humanity that it's means more to me. Because in reality, our existence wouldn't change at all if mountains didn't exist.
I just think mountain people are fucking brain dead. I hate the guy in Burlington, dude. When I was up there for work, and it's like, oh, why do you live here? He's like, ski. I'm like, okay, that's like 4 months a year, dude. What do you do for the other 8 months?
Mountain bike.
He's like, yeah, it's just I like skiing. That's stupid.
Why is that stupid?
You're dumb. To live somewhere just to ski for 3 months a year is dumb. Would you say the same
thing about a guy who lives up here and goes, I love sailing?
You can sail year round if you wanted to. You can't ski year-round.
But most people ski are like mountain biking and shit.
Yeah,
So
but
you
that's
just like
dumb too.
sports.
Mountain biking is stupid.
But sailing is stupid.
Sailing is not stupid.
Sailing is dumb and fucking.
Being on the water
rich and
connected to the fucking.
shit. Yeah, and ripping down a fucking trail is being connected to the mountain.
No, it isn't. It's not.
It's way cooler.
It's a completely different thing.
It's not. You're just.
It's a completely different thing, and hear me out. It's because skiing, you're not connecting with nature.
Yes, you
It's a
are.
It's a commercialized
Yeah, people who go
experience.
out there are not doing it commercially though. Who live there, they're like.
They are. They're going to fucking. They're going
Of course
to Pat's
they are,
Peak
but
and
they're also
shit.
like going to back fucking. Mountain.
They're not. Most of those
No
people
one
are not
who
doing that.
who moves somewhere for skiing is going to Pat's Peak.
I promise you, he probably is. This guy was not bright.
He's probably hit his
He's
head on a
not
couple
the greatest
trees.
example then.
But that's people in Vermont, dude. Like when I went up to Vermont, I'm like, who would fucking live here?
It's not that bad.
It is. It is. It is.
really
People.
not.
People. Here's. I can't explain it, and it really bothers me that I can't because my cousin said the same thing. She's like, "Why are you being so negative?" Like, because we drove through Mount Pearly or whatever the fucking capital is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what kind of fucking brain dead moron decides this is where I want to live? And she's like, I think it's kind of quiet and nice. And I'm like, yeah, for dumb people, dude. Like,
You got to be starting some sort of cult or like militia.
I
to wanna live
genuinely
out
think it's a weird sex thing, like this part of it. Like if you live in North Adams, Mass, dude. Like when I went out there, I was out there for 3 months, and I'm like, ooh. This is fucking terrible. Like this is stupid. You're not connected to anything. Like if you're in Burlington, like driving to Burlington, dude, you're like in the mountains for like 4 hours. You're like, wow. Like my thing is, who the fuck decided to settle there in the first place? I would have landed in Plymouth as like a pilgrim and been like, this is good. Like, why the fuck would you just keep going? Like, it's stupid.
But okay, my point is Burlington's like fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. But it's not fine enough to have the closest thing be Montreal, which is an hour and a half away.
But the closest thing is to skiing and the outdoorsy
But-
life.
Ooh, I don't
So
care.
like,
I don't
but
care.
you can't say it doesn't care.
But-
you can't just
but-
like say
You
that-
don't need to be 8 hours away from anything relevant to be outdoors and enjoy nature.
But if that's your
stupid.
entire life, then why would you?
If
live
your
close-
entire life is that, you are stupid, or you are hiding from something that you don't want to
Okay,
fucking.
that- say that.
No, there's a reason.
That's fair.
It's like the guy, the outdoor boys guy. There's a reason he lives in Alaska, dude. He is hiding from something mentally that he does not want.
But like,
out
okay,
inside.
I think my point is that like, you're an hour and a half from. You're not like Vermont.
An hour and a half from Montreal, which is like it's a cool city, but the French Canadians
you
are
gotta
pigs.
pass the
Okay,
border.
but like
It's
just
such
not,
it's such a hassle. Yeah,
Vermont,
you gotta go over
but
the
to me,
border.
like Vermont is like the people who pretend to be outdoors, or like the true autistic outdoorsmen go to like Montana. But like Vermont's
See, I
like
even
kind of
I
like.
respect Montana
but I
more
don't-
than I respect Vermont.
But
You're
the,
actually going. You're
Yeah,
actually
you're-
I know, but
in
like
it.
Vermont
You're in
is
it.
like all right. Like I don't want to be like in the
No,
middle of
I love
nowhere. I'd rather
Burlington.
ski. I
No.
want to ski like get 100 days in a year. Burlington's enough for me. I can go to Montreal when I want, but they're not like this. I that's why to me it's like normal. I can look past it. I look down upon people who go to Alaska in the Mountain West.
No, Alaska, you're fully committing.
But I don't think the Vermonters are pretending to commit.
you are,
Why?
because it's not even the best skiing.
In,
You're-
in,
you're
the, in
making
the
your
Northeast,
whole-
it is.
Yeah, in the Northeast, move some. If you're skiing is your life, commit fully. Do not ski somewhere that 3 out of 4 years you barely get any fucking snow.
But you want to be.
Stupid.
But here's the thing: you want to be close enough to the first world, and that's.
But
the
you're not
Northeast.
close enough.
You
You're-
are.
dude,
You
you're-
absolutely are.
But
That's-
driving into Boston is more than a. It feels like it takes up more than a. You can't take a day trip to Boston from Burlington. You can't.
You can take a day trip to Montreal if you want a day trip.
It's a fucking 8-hour drive. No, you can't.
To Montreal from
It's a 6-hour
Burlington?
drive. Not from Burlington. Not from Burlington.
Then what's your point? Who cares about the 6-hour drive?
Montreal's not even really a real city. It's
It's
like
literally Boston.
It's
with
smaller than
worse
Boston.
people. It's barely smaller than Boston.
the skyline's way smaller than Boston.
That's not how you judge cities.
It is.
It's not. Okay, then fucking.
I think.
See,
I just like don't. I'm not bothered by Vermont. I'm
I
bothered
have-
by the
I also
mountain men.
like Montreal in the winter when there was snow. Like when it's like cold and gray in like March. I'm sure it's a fucking horrible place.
Oh, it is. I went there in March.
Yeah, I went in
But is
January.
Boston
It
great
was,
in February?
you can still go down by the ocean. It's still beautiful. Yeah.
I think
could never leave the ocean.
I wouldn't leave the
But I
ocean
have a
either.
yearning to go into like the wilderness. Like
I don't.
Wilderness does
I don't.
nothing for me.
I
It
would be
does
bored
nothing
day
for me.
one, dude.
Although you were just
I
defending
defend
Vermont.
it, but I'm saying personally, it does nothing for me. I would
no,
defend
I
it,
have.
but it's-
There's always gonna be in the back of my head. It's gonna be like go. run.
I just think it's such a stupid mentality to have, to be like, It's such like a. Like almost like a narcissistic view where it's like, I'm so important that I need to remove myself.
I don't like.
You're an animal. You're part of the system.
No, that's why
I think it's the opposite.
I'm such a city cell that I feel like. That I feel like I'm like, to me the beauty is like, first of all, I'm a specious and a city cell. I think humanity is the greatest thing in the world, and I think when humans are like together and creating like cities to me are like humans at its like peak form. Like we're all living together, working.
It's like an anthill.
Yeah. But then when you go to the mountain, like you're just like the autistic part. Like it's just like fuck off.
No,
like,
the way I see it in that way, where it's like when you're in the city, I'll never feel like settled. I'm always going to be like on edge.
But that's how you know you're alive.
That's where you get the I know, but then I feel like one day that it's going to be like too much.
But I think if I moved out,
Boston will never be too much for me. If anything, I feel like it's too small. Like I want. It's
starting to get bigger though.
Dude, the fact that shit wakes me up just here.
But I can't believe that. The only thing that wakes me up is the garbage trucks on Monday morning.
I like it all.
By, like the fucking neighbors.
We need to go to. I always say it, so like don't. But we should do a like Placid, because have you gone, Joey? See, I think Joey would like
this winter.
I might take it
we
over.
could even just bool and like.
I would go
in like a spring
next weekend.
Yeah, I don't want to ski.
We don't need to ski. We should do like
next weekend.
No, let's do like a spring trip. Because there's a giant like water tubing spot like the like natural like waterfalls. And you can swim in that, and there's fly fishing. My grandma's fly fishing shit, and like
I don't know how to fly fish.
Who cares? We can just like try.
I want to bring guns up there. Can you shoot guns on your property, you think?
Dude, we have hunters all the time going through.
Dude, we should start blasting.
But we had to tell them to stop. I kind of felt bad, but like we have people. They Airbnb
it's right
now,
to roam.
Like, we're like, guys, like you can't just be like hunting people. Like people are staying here.
Yeah,
but, like,
straight bullet kill someone.
We could do. I didn't know Plymouth hunts.
Yeah,
I saw like I had no idea.
Insane amount.
Where the fuck do you hunt in State Forest?
Yeah.
I like don't realize how big that like.
That's why I'm surprised I was never shot as a kid, because I used to like run around.
That's why Plymouth is.
They don't hunt like right by the like they don't hunt.
No, but I've seen like I came across.
That's why Plymouth is so cool though, because it's like it's big enough where it has like a sizable downtown with anything you could want pretty much.
Except it's not open late enough for me.
No, but I'm saying like in terms of like a city, like it would be the biggest city in Wyoming.
Fucking Kuchari shit.
And then the state forest, and then we're like close to Boston. That to me is perfect.
And you got like the Cape.
That's humanity at its peak right there.
At the end of the day, it's just like if you want it all, but you don't. If you want the mid of everything.
Yeah, it's mid.
But it's you get.
Okay, everything. I will say downtown Plymouth is way better than mid. It's good. It's objectively good. Downtown Plymouth. It's objectively good.
It costs a lot to live there. It's like one of the.
But I'm just in terms of amenities and like culture and like.
I don't think. I think that's like. I think most people think that.
Yeah, Plymouth. I just like downtown Plymouth. Hey, Kat. Oh, so
it's kind of crazy going to other towns and like seeing their downtown and being like,
you guys don't have like 13 bars.
Yeah,
what?
Like, this isn't a real town. I remember like even like when I was young going to like Chatham or something and being like,
this is it.
I mean, I guess it's a little.
The Cape in the summer.
It's
I
iconic.
genuinely think there's almost nothing better than the Cape in the summer.
Jersey Shore.
Shut the fuck up.
This is the ultimate like rivalry.
It's not. The Jersey Shore is a commercialized trash version of what the Cape is. It's for fucking people who can't afford to go down the Cape.
A little more poor people.
You can't.
But you go to the nice.
Jersey Shore is Hampton Beach.
That's
what it is.
Parts of the Jersey Shore are way better than like
Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket.
There's no way. There's no way.
In terms of like, okay, it's a mix between you get the quiet, you get the nice beach, water's a little warmer, waves are better. 1, 2. It's actually walkable, so you can do the classic, like getting your little fucking bike with a little basket, your skateboard, go get a fucking good Italian.
We do that every day in Chatham.
Because you live, but that's not what everybody gets. Like you don't need to be on a.
You can just get a bike if you went to Cooper's place. And
my place is fine. My place is.
You even walk to it.
But not everyone gets that. Where the Jersey Shore, the island, all the islands are like.
Not everybody gets to live on the fucking island of Jersey Shore.
But the whole thing is an island. It's all Barrier Islands, and they're all like a fucking
technically
square mile long. So it's all like one.
The furthest you are from the beach in the Cape is like 2 miles, dude.
That's just sure. And most in the Jersey Shore, the furthest away you are is a 1/4 mile with every bar and restaurant you want. Right there.
Dude, I promise you, it's the Cape is way more
The
exclusive.
Cape is literally just Plymouth, and they're like, "Oh wait, the beach."
No, it
is
isn't.
Yes,
Far
it
down
is.
Cape, it's way down.
It's Plymouth.
Anything
get the
past
dunes.
Hyannis is fantastic.
It's nice,
unmatched.
but it's
unmatched.
It's boring.
It's not boring.
It is.
It's supposed to be that.
But that's why I hate it. I want a little like livelihood.
Because you go down the Cape to go down the Cape. You don't go down the Cape to
It's
basically
an
live your same
exclusive
life
club
on a beach.
Yeah.
It's not.
Not everyone can go down the Cape, and that's what makes it the Cape.
Yeah.
I will
Not
give
everyone-
it that.
not
but not
everyone
everybody
knows
can
that.
go to the.
Any moron can go to the Jersey Shore, dude. Any moron can go to the Jersey.
Yeah,
I'll go to the Jersey Shore
you go
right
to
now.
like fucking Wildwood or whatever. Yeah, that shit sucks. But you go to LBI, and like I said, you fucking are like 2 feet away from like every single great sub breakfast spot. Like you don't need.
I
to
don't
ever
need a
touch
great
your car.
sub. I want fucking fish.
You get good
And I
fish
want
there,
Dairy
too.
Queen, and I can get that down
You
the
get some
Cape.
good fucking.
I want fish and ice cream.
Yeah.
I want fish and ice cream. That's all I want. And I want beach. And I honestly don't want
I
poor
want water
people.
that's at least 70 degrees with real waves.
I don't need the water to be warm. I don't even need to swim.
The
70
water off
degrees.
like our place is warm.
It is pretty. Like
was warm.
Harwich gets to like 70 degrees in the summer.
If you go past if you get like up on the other like North Chatham, it gets a little colder.
I
for
just
sure.
can't.
But
Cape Cod does nothing for me. It's just
because
like,
you just didn't experience it.
yeah, you didn't experience the Jersey Shore, so
I don't need to because New Jersey is a trash state for trash people.
It's
awful.
literally just Massachusetts.
It's
Slightly more
Connecticut.
Italians.
It's Connecticut.
It is.
It's Connecticut for people who couldn't cut it in New York.
yeah,
That's
Cape
what it
Cod
is.
is for like.
Cape Cod is for successful, awesome people who bought houses in the 1940s when they were cheap and they didn't
and you're
sell
gonna
it.
get good seafood. You're gonna get
Fantastic
good ice cream.
seafood.
You get
The
all
best.
that in the
You're
Jersey
gonna get
Shore,
the
too.
best ice cream probably in the country.
I'll
And
die
the
in that
vibe-
hill. I'll die in
Aaron,
that
I
hill
could
with
t-
you.
I could-
I'll die
I
in
hate
that
to
hill
say
with
it.
you. I'll die in that hill
I
with
hate
you.
to say it, the fucking beer garden in Harwichport, like that is
That's
it.
the entire Jersey
No,
Shore.
where was the other place we
that's
went
like-
to?
that
No,
place
shut
is-
up, shut up, shut
Falcon
up.
Squire?
Where was the other place we went to the day after my birthday? On the beach. That place was dope in Dennis.
I don't. The
You were
day
there.
after your birthday, you were.
You were there with me.
Was I?
No, it might have been IOC.
Yeah.
Might have been IOC. But we went to this fucking unreal beach bar, dude.
Yeah, okay.
There is
Bars
way.
don't exist
To
in
be
Jersey
fair,
Shore.
I don't
don't.
really. There's way more beach bars than I go to. I don't know I don't go to the beach bars
I just
much.
prefer the lifestyle of you have the one boulevard, the island's the size of
I
this
don't
room.
because it takes forever to fucking drive anywhere down
You don't.
there.
The whole point is you don't drive. You hop on your little bike and the beach is right there. You get your sub. There's a bar right there.
Why do you keep bringing up a
walk-
sub? I don't need a sub
Because
down
the
there.
beauty of an Italian sub with a fucking like Dr. Pepper on the beach, it
No.
can't be beat. It can't be
That's
beat.
not true at all.
An
That's
Italian
not beach
sub,
food.
like the best Italian sub.
not beach food.
It's not, yeah, I agree. It's not beach
Italian
food.
sub is the definition of beach food.
What are you talking about?
What is beach food?
Clams.
Clams.
You don't eat. No. You get a sub for lunch. You go pick up a sub for lunch. with
I
a
don't
little
eat- I
don't
soda
think I've eaten
in a
a
bag
sub
of Vic.
once.
I don't eat lunch. I only eat dinner at night. Is clams and mudslides.
then you have seafood for dinner.
Your seafood's Jersey Shore seafood is trash.
It's
You have
It's
a
not.
bacon-
It's not comparable.
You have a
It's not
bacon,
comparable.
egg, and cheese in the morning.
I don't
you
need
don't
a
You
fucking
get a
bacon, egg.
bacon, egg, and cheese on a fucking bulky roll
I don't need that.
at the little fucking mom and pop shop next to the lighthouse.
But on the beach, you don't eat a sandwich. You eat like Swedish fish until dinner.
No, you have a sandwich. You have
No,
an
you
Italian
drink
sub.
until you're
you have
so
an
hammered
Italian
and
sub
hungry
And you have White Claws with
that you
Italian
eat a
sub.
whole plate of
need to-
clam strips.
When I'm down the Cape, I don't need to eat till 4 p.m.
All I
Yeah,
want to
I
do
literally
is eat.
don't.
You sit
Like-
there, you eat your subs, you don't move, and then you go into the water a little too quick, and then you start to gurgle up a little bit because the waves are rocking
gonna
you.
shit my pants
And
right
then they
now.
have the little what are those fucking fish that look like stingrays but they can't fucking
Skates?
and they're all flying around you. It's awesome, and you body surf. It's amazing.
If you can do all that on Cape though.
you can. It's just more accessible on the Jersey Shore, in my opinion.
I think that's
Think
the
about the
point.
poor
You don't want it
people-
to be accessible.
But it's more accessible.
Yeah, I
but here's the
don't
thing: it's
want-
more accessible even when you live the high class like Jersey Shore life. Like there's no boardwalk.
no.
There's no boardwalk where I go.
We
There's none of
should
that.
We should this summer at some point pay for a room at like the Cape Codder.
No.
But
No,
that's
no,
my
no,
point.
all of
That's
us
what,
in one
The
room.
Beachcomber. Do they have a hotel there?
No, the Beachcomber's a restaurant.
Beachcomber's
hotel near the
blowing it too. They're like
No.
banning alcohol and shit.
I just
But-
remember like my family. I know you guys have the houses, which obviously I will concede. My parents once were like, "Oh, let's get rent a house."
Yeah, but we didn't have the couches
what's it
growing
called?
up. We didn't have them like.
I had the house growing up.
And what's it called? Not Nauset? Is that?
Yeah, what about it?
And
That's
like
too far down.
And it feels like you're just like I'll concede the Chatham and like Dennis, but like you're literally in a fucking house.
Dennis is the line.
You're in a house that feels like it could be in the middle of Plymouth, and then you have to get into your car to do anything. Like
You don't though.
No, you do. I promise you, you do.
true.
People,
It's like a
you should see the
2-mile walk.
migration. If you're going
It's
down,
like a 2-mile walk
If you're
to
going
get to the
down in
beach.
August, you see migrations like on the side of the road of just like families.
That's
people walk.
dumb. That's
But
stupid.
they're only walking like a mile at most.
That's insane. Why would you want to walk a mile through a
a
neighborhood?
mile, dude. I walk
Or
more
what
than
about
that to
how
get
would
my
you get a
sandwich
house
every
that's
morning.
right on the fucking thing?
I
and
don't
everything
need to
you
go
want
to
is
the beach.
within
Not
the
everyone's
radius.
gonna have that on the beach though.
Yeah, but it should be that way. Everybody should be at least 4 feet from the beach.
But then it's not good if everyone can do that. But also on the Jersey Shore, they can't do that anyway. So it doesn't.
What do you mean?
Not everyone has one on the beach.
Yeah, but they're all like, it's like, this house is on the beach, right? This is the Jersey Shore. Our house is on the beach. Beach is there. The only people want to be just the people on the other side of the street. You cross the street and you're at the beach.
I'm just saying, like, if you go in the neighborhood that my place is in, even if you go further up.
Yeah, but
they
none of
only,
that
like,
says far away from the beach as from, like, you should see what, like, once you get up to East Ham and shit, like, it's desolate. Like, you're not close. Sometimes, like, 4 miles. You're in the middle, and you have to go through all the fucking private forest.
Because when you go that
Nauset-
far down the Cape, it's like that's not like the true Cape, dude. That's for people who are like, I like the beach and that's it.
But to me, that was the true Cape, because then, like, Chatham is like that middle ground where you're still like too close.
Yeah, but then you go like,
Hyannis over. Like, Hyannis over. If you're like on the other side of Hyannis, you're either a full-time resident or you're a trashy person. Like, trashy people go to Falmouth. Sorry.
I think the Cape is trashy.
No.
Besides Chatham,
I mean,
Chatham is nice.
Harwichport is not trashy. Harwichport is not trashy.
Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard are the best. That's where the hill I die in. If
Martha's Vineyard.
If I was a Cape Cod cell, I'd die in those hills.
Taking the
peak,
boat
though.
over to the
That's the
vineyard.
peak.
But we're not even allowed in those places.
Having some banana mudslides.
That's
you just
peak
go
to
over
me.
for the day.
Oh,
I would.
my
That
God.
to me,
Banana
that's the
mudslides.
The
But that's
banana
the closest
mudslides
you
at
get to the
Donovan's
Jersey
Reef.
Shore. Like the nice part of the Jersey Shore, and I could argue it's better. I think it is better. But like the normal Cape that like the plebs go to, you have a better experience on the Jersey Shore.
The plebs go to Sandwich and Brewster.
They don't go to Sand.
The plebs go to fucking.
There's no beach
Bourne.
in Sandwich. There's like the Treehouse
No one
brewery
goes to,
area.
No, the plebs go to the fucking campground under the Bourne Bridge.
And you can't even go to the
You ever
beach there.
drive by that and you're
I've
like,
stayed there before.
I don't want to be saying this, but I'm like, damn. Like,
No,
damn, that's rough.
Bro, because you're like 2 miles away both directions from the beach, and
That's too far to be. You cannot if you're 2 miles from the beach, you're not on a beach vacation. Doesn't count.
But
you're
know
not
what?
on a beach.
Those
vacation.
guys don't. People who go to campgrounds don't go to campgrounds for the beach, though. They go to get fucked up and
That's
fall
fair.
into the pool.
To go to Saco River. That's a true.
Oh, 100%.
That's a way better.
That's where we normally camped. But like,
Saco.
see, I liked New Hampshire for that, but also it's like all you do is swim in the river and you chill and like. When
But it's
you're-
awesome. A one day. It's a 1 day thing.
No, like a weekend is good.
no.
Thursday
You want
to
a one
Sunday.
night camp trip. Saturday to Sunday.
It's a long drive for one night up to the Saco.
Yeah, but it's you kind of like you're there on the water for 12 hours. You want to canoe all day the next day? Not really.
You don't see. That's why you camp and you can do other shit. Like you ride your bikes, you fucking.
No,
play
you just want to
basketball.
drink.
But I went when I was younger before I could drink. Like I could drink
experience-
like the last year I went up.
It gets better, I promise you.
I brought weed one year and that was a mistake.
Zach Richards, like, somebody brought weed once and it was funny. I was like, well, come on.
No, I think the last year we went I was like 16 or 17 and I brought like a nug up to like smoke a fucking pipe down by the river.
But a nug.
And everyone's like, "Where'd you go?" Definitely OG reeking, dude. Back when I didn't really smoke either. But the Cape is just unmatched. I hate to say it. I like Maine too.
I like
York,
Maine a
Maine's
lot. I
nice.
was gonna say that.
But the water's too cold. Like you swim there, fucking.
I could do the. I didn't. One thing I saw. I mean, I didn't just see this, but came to a realization again. It's like how big fucking Maine is. It's like pretty fucking big. Guys, just gonna leave me there
It's
with
huge.
that one.
It's huge. No, yeah. Aaron's texting. I was looking at the.
Maine is massive, and it belongs to Massachusetts, by the way. It's rightfully ours.
It is rightfully ours.
By the way, did you see the kid that the NFL tweeted out, and then they're trying to people are trying to cancel because they took a picture of him in blackface, so half of his face was black, half was red. Granted, the parents shouldn't have him in the whole Chiefs get up.
Dude, that was the one thing I would say is, like, first of all, don't like harass a kid, but also they were like, yeah, but if you see the other half was red, and somebody's like, that's still like kind of racist. Like, it doesn't really make it okay.
As a parent, you should have probably painted half the face yellow and half the face red, because those are the true colors of the Chiefs. Like, someone's like, black's their other color. I'm like, I think black's in the uniform, but it's certainly not their primary color. And also, the headdress was more tough. It's a tough look.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Granted, why are you canceling a kid for dressing up in like, the headdress is fucked up, but the name is the Chiefs. He's wearing a Chiefs headdress.
I saw a Twitter thing that was like, it was like a drawing of the kid, and he's like, heroes like never will. They tried to like Kyle Rittenhouse this kid. I was like, oh.
Dude, he's gonna sue and make money. But also, like, dude, honestly, a little bit shame on the parents. Like, I have not seen that rhetoric online almost at all about people being like, who's fucking like, who lets their child do that?
How many people dress up like that?
Not many. I think it's very odd. Granted, he's a child, so it's fine. But I think it's very odd the few people that go to NFL games. Like, there's a guy in the Patriots who paints his face like bright silver, and he wears like the full getup every game. And it's like, bro, you are 55 years old. Like, that is it's weird. Like, I get being a fan, but I think it's incredibly odd to be like that hard of a diehard. I genuinely think the NFL pays some of those people to like be like, you have to come in and look like that.
I was gonna say, and with the other thing, this is related to what you're saying to an extent. Me and Cooper talked about it here, and I think I said in the chat, NFL football game in person is the worst viewing experience you could ever have in sports. There isn't a close second.
Baseball is tough,
but at least baseball, you know what it is, and it doesn't pretend to be like. Football was literally like, if you picture like a fucking those TikToks with Subway Surfers under, like, it would just be like timeout, and then the fucking announcer would be like, kiss cam time. And like,
basketball was pretty bad the one I went to.
Nothing was worse. All of them are bad, I think, but nothing's worse than football. In terms
I don't think hockey's that bad. Because it's like,
all sports have their soccer in terms of at least you're watching the game. Like, football is literally like, 4-minute TV timeout. So now we're gonna do the shakalaka dance.
It's such a bad.
It's
live
just
product.
so insane how
you have to watch it at home. That's what
I'm saying. Yeah, it's the greatest. It's the best home experience by far.
Like, the day we went, I had a good time, but I didn't leave that stadium going, I need to go to another.
Yeah, that's the one
even
thing.
Even if the team was good, I wouldn't go to another.
It was like a good game.
I itch for every other
that
sport.
game could have been really bad, and it would have been a
hard,
wicked shitty experience.
I itch for every other sports event. Like, I go to a Celtics game, like, I'd like to go. When I went to the Bruins game, I'm like, I want to go back.
Celtics is just as bad. Like, the ones I went to, it's just like...
Didn't we go to the Celtics last year? Or this year? Season.
I went twice.
I don't know. Basketball's bad too, but at least you get like, at least you can get like 4 minutes of something happening.
Might have been me.
I thought it was you.
I didn't go with any.
No, I thought it was Joe. When we went, it was like Indiana. I got tickets from work. It was towards the end of last year.
You guys did go. I remember this.
It was us, yeah. And then I went to the Bruins with Jaden. Like,
I went to the Bruins with Joey. That was fun. I want to go back.
The Bruins.
That was like the only game we lost that season.
Funny. We banned Kira.
Yeah,
like, you're not allowed.
That was Kraken. My cousin.
Are they still good? Or are they slowing down? Are they slowing down? Or are they still good?
No, they lost a few games.
They were. Jeremy and I almost went. We were walking past, and the
hockey's
Rangers
a really
were playing.
Good take. I really enjoy hockey because it's like soccer where it's continuous, but like it's literally continuous real action. Like, there's very little like.
There's a lot of nonsense, I'll say.
Yeah, there's stoppages.
Not stoppages, but a lot of it's just like kind of like chasing like headless chickens for the puck that's bouncing around. Like, sometimes I'm like, who controls the puck?
Yeah, that's like soccer though.
That's the duty of, I think, but that's to defend hockey. That's just because it's so much harder than any sport.
It's the hardest sport.
That it's hard to be, but like when you're watching it, you're kind of just like, what the fuck is that? Like,
it's like kind of like when you're
it's like playing foosball. It's like,
or you're in a dream and you like can't do exactly.
Yeah, it's a little like, that's the one thing that knocks hockey to me in terms of just objectively looking at a viewing experience. It's just like, kind of looks like nonsense sometimes.
There's a lot of like, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah. And it's not even, and that can't even be a tribute to understanding
what the fuck's happening over just like back and forth passing, slow.
No, I get that. I respect that. I just like for me, soccer. It's like the whole you watch. It's like you can. It's like watching like
It's like watching a play.
a whole thing go on. And
Yeah,
like, the
it's a
whole
whole-
experience, like every little.
Honestly,
But every sport has that. It's just it's
I
so
would rather
bigger.
watch. I would rather go to a baseball game before I went to a football game, and that's like
100%.
it's not even
because
close.
because
It's not even
baseball is at
close.
least not pretending like you know exactly what you're getting. I think the problem with football is you watch it on TV
and you think it's gonna
and
be
you
that
you
fucking
expect
hype.
it, and then it's just like if you're not looking at the, it's also weird because you have to look at the fucking first down markers. You know what I mean? To
Yeah,
know
on the TV, you can't even see it.
So you're just like, did he run? How far did he run?
And it's also tough to
Yeah.
watch because if you're in the lower bowl, it's like almost impossible to really tell like the like where shit like where you get tackled and shit.
Yeah.
The perspective.
When you're watching up
But if-
top,
it's
cool.
good, but then you can also not see like the close like down to the moment.
When you watch it up top, it's like watching like a chess match, kind of like you kind of like watching how they're set up.
But it's way easier to get distracted up there. 'Cause, like, I feel
Foxborough
like
also sucks to go to.
I just hate
It's
that
not a
stadium.
good stadium.
I love MetLife is not a great stadium. I just prefer it because it's the ball, so you just feel like you're like in it.
you're in a stadium.
You're like
yeah.
in a stadium. There's people. It's loud. Where you're like, just feels like a high school field that just has like.
It's like a
bleachers
Texas high school field. Yeah.
just like attached to it. You're like, okay.
That team is gonna be fucking unbearable, dude. It's gonna be bad, and people they want
I'm like-
fucking fire Belichick, and I don't think people realize that. Like, I don't think he likes Mac Jones, and I think that's a huge factor of why he's coaching the way he is. But I also just think that like if you fire him, dude, you're gonna have Gerard Mayo better be fucking great, or the team's gonna you're gonna forget how good they were.
You almost can't fire him at this point.
You got to give him a chance.
Well, they gave him a 3-year extension, dude.
You
So
need
they're gonna
to
have
give him
pay
a. You need to give him a chance where he's like. They need to be like, you can't be the GM anymore.
But he'll
and see how that goes.
breach his contract. In his contract, he's part of the GM.
But
So
could
if they
he?
breach his contract,
is he
can
really-
leave,
but, like,
and
is-
he has to get paid still.
I don't know.
Damn.
Does anyone really think he's the problem?
Yeah, he is a problem.
I think he's a bad
I think
GM.
he's the problem. No, I think he's a bad GM.
I think he's a bad GM at this point.
But like
I
the
think
amount
he-
of fucking interceptions I've seen.
No, Mac
Mac Jones is unbearable.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones is
But
why
isn't
they're
just a
losing.
quarterback who's stuck in a. He's a quarterback who single-handedly has lost you guys like a lot of games.
But it's also
That's what
because
I mean.
the
Be
defense
chalked up-
isn't bad, and that's where Bill's always like
He's a
been the
defensive
guy.
coach.
And I think he's drafted fairly well on defense, and I think defense has never been the issue on this team. There was a few blowouts in the middle of the year that I think it like was.
It just got away, I think.
But like, yeah, like I think. But it also completely changes the game, and we've never experienced this truly, where like if the Patriots go down by a score, like Brady's either gonna score or make the drive. You know, like every fucking drive is 3 and out, dude. It's brutal to watch.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely have not watched more than probably 3 Patriots games this year because I can't do it.
I don't know. It looks like
unbearable.
That game I went to was the worst game I've ever seen in my life. It was insane.
that was a tough one.
The game was
Yeah.
10 to
good.
7.
The game
10
was
to
good
7.
where Joey and I went to. but
That was like
also
because somehow the Bills blew
it was because the Bills played so poorly.
Yeah.
And then they played well. at
That was the
end.
only time you guys scored more than 20 points this season, which is insane.
Well,
Yeah.
wasn't the one you went to like when was the first score?
We scored in like the third quarter.
Yeah, that's
And then-
insane.
Unbearable.
That's
Football was
insane.
unenjoyable.
Like at least
Yeah.
the Giants have the Tommy DeVito bit, like the Italian bit, like that's kind of going for us. Like, but like, cause like, yeah, he's like, and Tommy like, what does this mean? Like the like hand thing, and he was like, it just means. He's like, I don't know. It's also like my dad grew up like around the corner. It's like there's like that connection to Jersey, where Mac Jones is like a fucking idiot from Alabama. Like
he's a pampered pooch.
he's a pimp.
I just don't think he has the
such
arm.
a pussy face, dude.
Dude, like it doesn't.
the way he
the
like
ball looks like it's in slow motion.
Oh, it's. I genuinely
like
think
it's not even like the plays like are that bad. Like I can see what he's going for.
Oh,
at
no,
some
no,
point.
no. He's
People
like
bitched about the play calling last year with Patricia. And
Patricia
Judge,
was so
and people
bad.
are like that ruined. But
it didn't
they're
ruin
not
Mac.
that.
It didn't ruin
I hate
Mac.
to say it.
It didn't
Their
ruin- You
offense
just can't
wasn't
get
as
the-
bad as this year. They
You just
dumbed
can't
it down.
even get the fucking ball there. That's a problem.
It's unbearable.
That's why I don't.
Dude,
that's
Mac
why I don't think
Jones,
like Bill is like
the
the
way
real,
he, like, do you ever
it's
see him,
enough
like,
already.
He's gonna win. You watch. He's gonna leave too. He's gonna win a Super Bowl.
I hope
And
he
then
does.
Robert Kraft is gonna be the ultimate enemy, which I think he
Yeah,
is.
dude, he's gonna get more
Because
hands.
he got
Robert
involved
Kraft
with the
is
Brady
going to
thing.
build us the Revs a new stadium though in Everett, so he will be my hero.
That's true.
Dude,
I'll let
here's
him
the
do
thing.
that.
If the Revs get a stadium that you can get to by train, would you come with me to a game?
Yeah.
100%.
That's what people...
Half the issue is it's because
it's
it's in
not worth it, and
Foxborough.
it's pathetic and sad.
If
The
they
same
played
thing
it
with
at
the
Harvard,
Patriots.
yeah, okay, yeah.
no, but like if the Patriots is once a week, it's also like
That's what I'm saying. Because
it's also like it's
you
when they
guys
were
have
good,
seen.
it didn't matter.
You guys have seen like videos of like good soccer atmospheres, right? Like I think
Yes.
it's fun to go to, even if you don't watch. Like, so if it's easy.
Well,
to get
I guess
to,
one thing I'm
it'd be
skeptical
fun.
of is if our
our
games are
soccer's
gonna
not
be-
like that.
Yeah, it's
Like, I've been
But
to
no,
West
but a
games.
lot. No, here's the thing. It's because the Revs play in a stadium, and all the people are coming from like South and stuff, so it's families. But if you see like the new teams that are coming, like LA and stuff, where they have their stadiums in the city, it's like people our age
Degenerates.
getting like rowdy and like drunk. So that's what I think. Because I saw people were talking about how
They should put it right outside of Encore.
they were like, that's where it's gonna be.
There you go.
They were talking about how they like people were like, yeah, if the Revs
Take
build
down
a
all
new
that,
stadium,
like,
the Revs build a new stadium here.
Transformers and stuff for the city.
They're like,
we don't need electricity.
They're like, me and my 6-year-old, me and my family with my 6-year-old are gonna cancel my season tickets. Like, I hope you do. Like, to me, like,
I hope you do.
sports
You should
event.
tweet
That's
at
the one thing is like sports to me. I don't want it to be a family friendly event.
No.
One thing I want that
I don't want kids.
Which I
anywhere.
want. We had
I don't
American
want
sports.
kids in breweries. I don't want them in restaurants. I don't want them on.
We should have
planes.
dedicated away sections where all the away fans sit in one corner.
That's what they do at like any like college stadium.
That's what
They
I'm
have, like, a
saying. Yeah, college
dedicated-
football is amazing.
Yeah.
But like, I want it like that. I want dedicated corners. I want people fucking hammered, and I want like singing like the most fucking degenerate shit ever. Like,
They
that's
need to make
fun.
the stadium small.
It's gonna be like 25,000.
That-
They average
so that's
30.
like-
They
that-
average 30 right now. So
Is that like Harvard Stadium?
probably no. I'll show you pictures later, like of like
Because I think
because there's a lot
I think
of all.
huge problem with the Revs
Is that it looks-
especially after
it's-
watching is it's the stadium.
That's
was
what, but that's
empty.
what I'm saying. If the stadium was full, it'd feel more lively. If it was more accessible, there'd be like a more like crowd like our age going. It'd be fun. Like it'd be like if like it's like if this it's like socks. Like sometimes you go to Bruins, you go to games here because you're like I feel like going to a game.
Refuse to go to a Red Sox game until the team's better.
Yeah, but Fenway's fun. Baseball is like
No, Fenway's not fun. Fenway is one of the worst. Fenway is like going to Broadway, dude, where it's like you were uncomfortable for 9 innings.
Yeah, it
the
does
Whole
suck.
fucking,
You're
the whole
paying
deal is
$14 for
you're
a
being
fucking
told
beer.
the whole time that it's a blessing you're that uncomfortable. Because
Fix
no
the
one else
seats.
does it.
Fix the seats.
It sucks so bad.
Half the seats you're sitting like this, looking into left field, and you have to like turn your neck. Like
I think
this
I've
to
been
walk.
gaslit.
made for, like,
by-
1800s
I will
people
say though,
that
what's
are, like, tiny,
gaslit me
too.
is you have to admit though is that like instead of those old ass, not those new weird stadiums where there's like a fucking theme park in the background, like Fenway Park in October, we haven't been there.
I've been to a playoff game.
No, I'm saying we haven't been there recently.
Yeah.
But it's incredible. It's
No, Fenway's great.
there's a charm
especially
to it that I love.
It does have an energy.
It's like to me
yeah.
it's the same way like those soccer stadiums in England, like Old Trafford, you know, like it's not some bullshit thing, man. It's like this is like heritage right here. Like this is
There's something
beauty.
cool about a good
and it's
baseball
loud
stadium.
and yeah.
Like, dude, I went to Philly. I've been to Citizens Bank, and that's a fun stadium.
Dude, I hate to admit the dome in Toronto was actually kind of fun.
If they sell it out, it's nice. Yeah,
Who's Seattle again?
the Mariners.
Mariners, dude. That's such a nice stadium.
It's so
It's,
nice.
I went to that
it's
one.
rated one of the highest stadiums.
Camden
Baseball
Yards
has some of the
is
best.
my favorite
Camden
stadium.
Yards is a wonderful. That is like because you get the same charm as Fenway, in my opinion, and it's also a far better fan experience. than
PNC
Fenway.
Park is really good.
I didn't go in,
But what's the one in San Francisco? I want to go. That looks incredible.
yeah,
That looks so good. I want to go there.
Yeah, that's like I want to go to Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's team sucks. But
Yeah, I'd
that's a
go-
beautiful stadium.
I-
Cincinnati Stadium's nice. I've heard.
I'll do Wrigley.
Wrigley, I would do.
I don't
I've
care
been
about
to-
the new Yankee Stadium.
I've been
It's
to
just new.
Arizona. Brooklyn went to the Mets Stadium, whatever that's called now.
City Field.
City Field,
I've still called Shea Stadium.
Shea Stadium. Yeah, but I drove by the Bronx and I was like, it's a fucking loser stadium, dude.
The new Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I've never been to any stadium except the Mariners and Red Sox. Now,
I've been to Arizona.
Foxborough.
Washington Stadium's really nice too. I've been. Where else have I been?
I like.
Have I been to the Trop? I don't think I've been to the Trop.
I've only been to Fenway,
Arizona, I went to.
Toronto, and Baltimore.
I wanted to go to Texas when we were down there, but the tickets were stupid.
Where do they play? The Dome or
Arlington.
do they
All
play
their
the same
stadiums are
complex?
all their
Are they all
stadiums.
like- is it like
it's like Philly where everything's like all right next to each other.
yeah? It's just
Actually, the Mavs Stadium's downtown.
yeah. Basketball stadiums are always downtown. I feel
No,
like
Phillies isn't.
it's not.
Phillies is.
Oh.
It's all their stadiums are all in one
Oh,
park.
it's like a giant parking lot.
Baltimore is very similar, but
Dude,
they
I just
obviously
hate
have
how all our
football.
stadiums are giant parking lots
Football, basketball. I meant.
For football?
for anything. Like you see, like there's like the 100,000 seat stadium in the middle of like Barcelona. Like it'd be sick. Imagine being able to like walk around the corner and just go to a game.
Well,
So,
we had the
like-
Garden's like one of the closest
Well,
ones.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the Garden's good, but when it comes to football, like I feel like they're always like
It's because they're too big.
they
It's
wanted
too
to build.
new.
They were gonna build a stadium.
Bill Stadium's in like the fucking neighborhood.
Yeah, they were gonna build Gillette like in Seaport. I think that was like the
But, like,
They were gonna move to the.
But the thing is, there'd be no more
Pats to
there'd be no
Hartford.
more Seaport if that was down there. I feel like.
it would have been even bigger and better. I
I
think.
think they would have like filled in.
Think about
ocean,
how much
or-
they've updated, like how much money they put into Patriots Place.
No, I understand. Yeah, Patriots Place is
The only
awesome.
reason they were able to put
because
that
they have
money into
space.
these places is because
Yeah, but there's enough space in Seaport still. Like a lot of it's still like not developed, and they would have had more incentive to develop even
I don't
like
know
more.
about
I think it would be exactly the same with a football stadium. Just
that would be a fucking nightmare to get there though. 70,000 people going into fucking. Seaport.
it'd be electric though. I'm purely an atmosphere guy.
If
And
you
it
had a
would be
train outside the city with a big old parking lot,
What you said, Joey? One parking lot.
We
There
need
should be
just
one
giant-
parking lot.
Also, it
Parking
should be easier
cars
to
are
take
banned in the
fucking-
city. Giant parking lot. You go
giant
get your
parking
car.
lots is what I'm gonna run on when I'm there.
It should be easier to go to fucking Gillette. The fact you can't take a train easily is fuck.
Yeah, the
they
fact
should
that
have
like we
trains
were
going
like
the
one
whole
of like
day.
a million people that are like, what do you mean this isn't the train? And Gillette says it right here. Like this actually,
That's what's
the
so
ticket
weird
you
to me
bought
is
that
'cause
says
every
to Foxborough doesn't go
single-
to Foxborough.
To Gillette is not actually the right ticket.
Boston and like fucking Eastern Mass is like one of the few places in the country that's known for having good public transit. You can walk downtown, and for some reason we have the most egregious stadium location. Like even Charlotte, which is known for being like the most sprawling city in the country, their football stadium is like,
It's like right
downtown.
Yeah.
And it's like somehow
I wonder if they expected shit to like pop up around it.
I think Kraft
kinda did.
didn't get what he wanted originally.
And he's like, fuck it.
He was like,
we'll make
fuck it, we'll
convenient.
just build it here.
Because that's where the
Patriots Stadium was
there
right
was
next
a
to it.
stadium there. It
Yeah.
was Foxborough Stadium.
Foxborough Stadium, yeah.
Was basically where like Patriots Place sits now, and then they just built it next to it. They're like, fuck it, we're not moving it. Patriots Place is nice.
It's fine, yeah. I don't mind. It just feels so weird. Like I want
It's
to.
fake. It's fake.
Yeah.
It's
like
like
going to
Derby
Disney
Street.
World.
It's like Burlington.
It's,
that main
it's just
street.
so
It's
sad
fake.
they have to drive like 40 minutes to get to a game. I just wish you could be like, oh.
I also think it's because the New England Patriots, they wanted it to be like somewhere like because it's easy to it's easy to get to if you drive from New Hampshire, Connecticut. Yeah.
But that's the thing. All the people were like, "Yeah, I'm live south of the stadium. I'm not going to Revs game." I'm like fucking don't come, bro. Like, I don't want you here. I want
Yeah, don't come.
like I want like there was a
come.
video yesterday of what was
come.
it? Newcastle, which is like this scumbag city in England.
Yeah.
Was playing the biggest team in France. And the Newcastle fans were like at a bar in France for the Champions League game, and the French started attacking it, and they had like a little war. And I'm like, I want that in our sports.
I honestly don't want that in our sport.
I do want that. I want to like go to.
I
want to like
stabbed over a fucking.
No, they don't. But it's like you throw chairs at them, you like harass them a bit.
It could be a permanent injury, dude. over a
Fun though, like to me, sports aren't meant to be. Sports to me are like meant to be like war, like what a replacement of war is, and it shouldn't be like, oh, I want to bring my 8-year-old to this game. No,
No,
like,
kids
should be banned from sporting
Kids should
events.
not be allowed out of the home besides school and being supervised by parents going to somewhere like food, like Chili's. You can go to
Take your
Chili's.
kid to fucking Red Robin.
Yeah,
right?
you are not allowed you're not allowed at restaurants. You're not allowed. You should not be like. Someone told me like they went to the fucking brewery.
Winter Hill?
Near Bunker Hill. What is it called?
Bunker?
Trillium.
Trillium, yeah.
And they're like every table had a baby stroller.
Get
Or, like
the
toddlers.
millennials
like,
are
get them fucking
Millennials
out there.
don't know.
Get them
Millennials
out of
had
there.
kids. This is the
They
problem.
can't accept that
Millennials
they're
had
not
kids.
supposed to have fun anymore.
And guess what? It's over. Your life, like you said, it's over. Your life is fucking over. Your sad, pathetic
you
existence is
find-
cooked.
you find
You
friends-
chose to have a kid.
No one asked you to have a kid. No one asked you to have a,
yeah.
no one asked you to get a stupid dog. I hate dogs
Guess
and
what?
kids.
Move out of the city.
Get the
Yeah,
fuck
move
out.
out.
Go
Move
to the
somewhere.
suburbs.
Move
Your life
somewhere.
is over. Guess what I did? Is I fucking wrapped it up. I pulled out.
It always.
I'm
It's not
enjoying.
even that, but it's
I'm
like
enjoying my
find
20s.
find friends, find people with other kids,
Find
and
kid
go
friends.
have like a barbecue. Or
Go to
something.
Chuck E.
I don't
Cheese.
know.
Go to
Yeah.
fucking that. Go to fucking what's
Go to Ryan's Family Amusement.
Yeah, like I don't want
What's our
you.
brewery in the Plymouth one we used to always go to?
Second wind.
Yeah, go to Second Wind. Second Wind. I don't get
I don't
mad.
want you at Second Wind.
I don't
It's
get
a
mad when I see
hassle.
kids at Second Wind. I
No,
don't get mad.
I genuinely get mad when
Bring them to
millennial
Cab
people
Shack.
walk around their dogs and their kids like. No one gives a fuck about your dog or your kid.
Because they don't
it's
own
yours.
It's because they
No
don't
one
own
cares.
land. They don't own land.
They don't own land. Keep it in the fucking house, dude. It's not my problem. I am so
Not my problem.
I am so fucking annoyed.
You existed near me.
Like I genuinely get annoyed. Like earlier when I fucking walked out of the house and I was like, "Shut the fuck up!" and there was some lady with her fucking kid and her dog, and I'm like, "Why are you in the city? Go fucking live in the
I always
suburbs."
I know there's a school like right near us.
Every morning I have to deal
And
with
when
fucking kids.
when I go to fucking get my bacon, egg, and cheese, and there's like kids everywhere, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
I don't even like college students walking around cities. Like I don't want any
Dude,
like
yeah. Well, I think I went when we lived in Dorchester. I got so used to only having adults that like when I see kids around here, I see one with a stroller. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
It makes me sick. I hate the people who ride around with their kids on a bike, like a tandem bike. I get so fucking annoyed with that.
Oh my god.
Cities should be
Go to the
I
suburbs.
just, no, I just,
That's
I just,
what it's meant.
get. If you have a
They're
kid,
like, well, they can't. You can't walk anywhere, and you can't. Like, what if you're drinking?
I don't care.
It's like
I don't care about your
you
fucking-
shouldn't be allowed to drink when you have kids. So
yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be allowed to have coffee. I don't give a fuck about any of that. I genuinely think that that is probably the worst part of society is needing to deal with people with their kids. It's the worst. Like, there's nothing worse than being somewhere where like someone can't manage their kid. Like,
Oh my God.
why are you out in public? Like, that's like bringing a fucking dog that bites
Like a
people out in
rabid
public.
dog.
Yeah,
Here's
like
the
get
thing.
that shit at home. Leave it locked
you
up.
you should know that your kid's a rabid fucking animal. This isn't like
That's the-
I didn't know. Okay, well, my kid's acting
What
like
are you doing?
I'm
you
fine.
knew your kid's a piece of shit.
I am far enough out from working with kids now that I'll start the parents who I worked with, when their kid would call me like the N-bomb and hit other kids, and then the audacity for them to sit and look at you and be like, my kid wouldn't do that.
No, but
and I'm like, why would I like I wanted to yell at this one guy. I'm like, why would I fucking lie to you? I don't give a shit about your little fucking kid who annoys the fuck out of me every day. Yeah, my life would be easier if he's not here, but it also would be easier if your kid was fucking behaved. Like some kids, I don't give a shit if they're here because they sit over there and they fucking read all day and they don't bother anybody. That's what your kid isn't a good kid. Like, more parents need to hear that. And teachers had no problem telling my parents I wasn't a good kid.
My mom was telling me that COVID has cooked this too. We
Oh, it's
no,
over,
dude.
dude.
In the,
she said the kids are worse than ever.
because they literally
You gotta go on
they
teacher
know it's all
subreddit.
fake. COVID, the biggest problem with COVID was revealing that it's all fake.
Yeah,
and
it's all
everything we
not
know
real.
and love could be ended without our control.
We don't need to do any of this. Apparently,
We don't. It's all fake. No one worked. No one, dude. That's the other problem. All these fucking parents were at home working with their fucking kids. Half of them aren't working, and then the other half throw their fucking kids in front of iPads and don't monitor what they fucking watch. So all these kids are exposed to shit they're not supposed to be exposed to. I'm fucking mentally unstable, and I barely got that experience. Like high school is when I started watching shit on the internet. Your fucking toddler should not be watching the internet at all.
Skibbity, skibbity, toilet. Skibbity, skibbity, toilet.
Oh.
Do you know what I think too? COVID, like you said, is all fake. I wish like the world.
COVID was all fake.
Well,
I don't know
so
if
So
we
the world,
said
the
that,
world. No, I mean like fake in terms of like we just
We just shut
didn't
everything
work.
down. Yeah.
I honestly I wouldn't hate if the world, the cabal, basically was like, you know what, this is the end of humanity. We just pulled our resources and just kind of like trickled out and just had one good run. It
Yeah.
didn't work because we have enough for no one to work ever again, and then humanity just ends like that.
I also
we
hate
get a
that.
last
See,
hurrah.
the thing
Give
is,
us a last
I don't think
hurrah
the
and then
kids,
end
when
it.
the kids saw that it all went like that, and we all stopped.
But these kids are like,
I don't think they
even understand.
they didn't really realize that. Oh shit! Like society is not running right now.
No, they
Like,
didn't know.
they see
Everything was the same for them.
they're like, oh well, I'm still getting food on the table. They didn't realize that we're probably like another month away from fucking not having anything.
Dude, the COVID excuse is also so over. People who still blame their life on COVID, like, grow the fuck up.
I wouldn't
It's been
hate if we
3
had
years.
another lockdown.
We'd be cooked. It'd be over though.
No
We
one.
would lose our jobs. We probably
couldn't
would never
Lose
get
our
jobs
jobs,
again.
but
People are just waiting for it to they're just waiting for the, it's like
Because, dude,
crash.
our age
I'd
group, it
love
would be really bad to get fired because we're also we're quickly approaching the age where it's like
we don't have like kids we have to pay for at least.
yeah, but we're
Right, just go
approaching that
home.
age where that's not fully common anymore. Like we're gonna start like a lot of people our age. I feel like are gonna start having kids. Like you
No,
got the
yeah,
first
yeah.
few people who have had them.
But I'm saying like it sucked graduating into COVID.
Yeah.
I guess you graduated before, but
No, I graduated
you were
2
just-
months before it.
Yeah. Graduating like in the middle of it like sucked where it's like you basically have to go with whatever first job you have no pick.
But now,
I had a good pick, but like
now it's like that shit's over. Like you've
Yeah.
had time to have your pick. Like jobs were hiring for like 2021 to 2022. There were jobs that people were getting.
but like I couldn't imagine being fired over that shit. That sucked.
No, that probably blew.
Because it's not even like a
But I'm not
real
even talking about
disaster.
COVID as an excuse as an adult for like career things. I'm talking about like excuses for like personal things. Like, oh, my kid's fucking a menace because he had the year and a half off of school. Like, no. If anything, your kid should be better because it didn't have any outside influence.
You've been with your kid for a whole year basically.
Yeah, that means
COVID.
that you really suck. Like,
You weren't doing shit on your dumb Zoom
and there's a
thing.
difference between like real issues and then your fucking kid's just badly behaved. And I feel like using COVID as an excuse for why your kid, for no reason, just is a fucking selfish piece of shit is like, get over it. I also might cut this because I have too many people who listen to this who are parents. I'm not going to cut all of it. Kids,
I mean,
your kids suck, and I don't. The moral of the story is we don't need to start fucking preaching from a soapbox, but your kids suck, and we don't want them around. Like, I don't want your fucking dog around. Like, I hate people using like going out and the activity for fucking bringing their dog and shoving it down my throat. Like, you know why I like a cat? It's just here. It doesn't leave the house. They don't fucking bring the cat around and be like, oh, you have to interact with my cat while we go to get a beer. That's stupid. No one wants to do that. If someone wants to do that with your dog, it's almost weird. Like, it's not your dog. It's fucking odd. Like
chain it up.
other people's dogs, like I like petting for like 2 seconds, and then I'm kind of like, dude, like I don't want to deal with this dog. Like I don't know this dog. This dog doesn't know me. It's probably a cool dog.
We can't go in half the places now.
Because everyone thinks their dog's the coolest fucking thing on the planet, and it's not. Somebody's dog is cooler than yours, and I don't want to fucking hear, oh, your dog is fucking hilarious, dude. Because it fucking drinks water like a fucking idiot, or it does something stupid. Like, I don't care. Don't bring it out to the bar and make it a hassle. Because then it's like, the whole day has to be planned around the dog. Like, oh, you want to go do this? Get the fucking dog. And it's like a kid, dude. I fucking hate, and then the people who like panic about fucking like, oh, well, we got to get home. Like, don't come out at all then.
You know what? Just don't like it.
Just don't come out at all. Or don't have the kid. I promise you, most of you, these people who are listening, if you're planning on having kids, that's when our relationship will be ending. Like, I don't want to deal with your
Well, our producer's got to fucking.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're not talking about
Sorry,
it.
Procop.
That kid's cool.
No, I'm sure Procop's kid's going to be great. But also, like, low-key, like, I'm sure, like, it will be kind of like one of the things, like, if the kid grows up and it's like always around and it's like, oh, like this is a cool kid, like I'm sure my dad's friends like have an interest in me, like they care about me as like a person. But realistically, dude, like if my life starts going to shit, like my dad's friend is gonna be like, damn, I'm really concerned about Cooper. Like he'll make a fucking comment and then I'm sure his life will go on.
I wish him well.
Like I wish your kid well, dude. I wish your kid well. But if your kid, here's the deal, Procop. If your kid's a fucking nightmare, that might be why. If your kid's nice, like I want a fucking nice kid. I want a nice kid. Like cool kids who don't like. Some of the best kids are the dumbest ones who are just like airheads and they kind of just like, it's like having a dog where it's like
It's like watch my kid do this and just runs like
runs
into
around,
a wall.
Yeah, runs around and does something like that. That's funny. But like when your kid's like a fucking nightmare, like the second your kid cries, immediately losing points for me. Like I want that. Like that shit melts my brain where it's just like, ooh, I don't like you anymore. Like please behave.
I mean, I was an out of control kid.
I just talked too much. Like I was just a distraction.
I didn't talk. I was like a wander off type kid.
I never wandered. I wandered once.
I was like they had to call like the mall police like almost every time.
My mom freaked out one time because I hid at, remember the old outlets right where like the Market Basket over the Sagamore Bridge is now. I hid in like Oshkosh Kabosh in a fucking pair of overalls. And my mom lost me for like 15 seconds. She had a panic attack and I couldn't have ice cream that day. That's half the reason I was excited to go to the fucking mall.
I was lost way longer than that. My parents also had like 3 other kids that they were trying to. They're like, shit,
Mia was
another one.
Mia was the nightmare, dude. Like I low-key was chill. I just was self-destructive. Like wouldn't try in school. My backpack would be disorganized, and
by then,
Mia was just like Mia was vicious. Like Mia threw these heavy boots down the stairs at my mom's head. She like picked out the heaviest shoes she had and started to like cause as much havoc as possible. Like Mia was fucking reckless, like always crying. My autistic cousin hated her.
Yeah, we never had like that. Ours was also, my mom was more of a sheep herder, like trying to, because each one of us would like go different ways.
Yeah,
like,
she was like,
what's over there?
She had to bite at the ankles, dude.
She had to call the mall police because I was, in like inside like the Gap where they have like the ring of shirts. I was like inside there.
That's what I did. Yeah,
I was just playing like on my Game Boy, like inside there. I don't know why I went in there, but I did. Like when I poked out because I had to take a piss or something. My mom's like, "You've been in the hall." There's like police everywhere.
My parents just got to the point because I would just like hate walking around because my dad would every single time my dad had to go somewhere, he'd be like, "Do you want to come?" And I'd be like, "Not really," but I would have to go. And after a while, I was just like, "I'm just gonna sit in the car." Like they just like cracked the window. Left
Yeah, my dad did that for his work. He's like, we have to go to Springfield today, and I'm like,
yeah, my dad would bring me on sales calls, dude, and I would just play backyard baseball, and I was like, why couldn't I be home for this?
I had the Game Boy that only had like an hour of power though. So
yeah, I had the Game Boy Advance. You got like 2.5 hours out of it, but I had the extra battery, like charger thing, so you could just swap them out.
Guess what, guys?
What?
Henry Kissinger just died.
Are you serious?
That guy was still alive?
He just died.
Charlie Munger?
Yeah, Henry Kissinger.
How did he stay alive? I thought he
was 100.
Long dead.
People have been like trying to wait for him to die for a while.
He looked mad old back when he was bombing Vietnam.
Yeah, no, he's been going. People
he was 100.
The joke was always like people dying. It was like, and Henry Kissinger is still alive.
That's fucking wild. Anyway, Prokop, I'm sorry about the kid thing. You got a kid. Like, I'm sure we'll stay in touch. That's mad funny. My last take for the week is I honestly don't think the concept of the Hunger Games is that bad.
What do you mean? Do you think certain groups of people should be in it?
No.
Okay.
I just think the storyline behind it, the more and more I've thought about it, the more and more I kind of understand it. But also not even that. It's really low-key not that bad of a punishment.
It's only 2 people.
It's only 2 people. Like the thing is, they make it seem a lot more powerful during like the movies because it's like you see the district. It's only like 300 people, so it's like 2 kids every single time. And plus, I think 12 is too young. But like 16 to 18, you're only losing 2 people.
You can even do 18,
and that's
really,
regions.
It could just be 18 too.
Yeah, it could just be 18. But like that's like regions. So like in all of New England, 2 people who are 18 are going to die
in a driving
accident.
Tonight.
Yeah, someone's gonna OD. Like realistically, it's not that bad. And I think the whole movie, the way it seems more powerful, it makes it seem like everybody was against the Capitol. Was that those districts in the movie were small, so it felt like everybody was rising up against the Capitol.
Hunger Games a cool it's got a cool thing going for it. But like the people that are like, it's not deep. It's like I've read every single Hunger Games book. It's just a young adult like fucking girl wants to bang 2 guys.
Yeah, and then
like
she doesn't realize she's the revolution.
It's like capitalism and like this is like that's the premise of everything. Like it doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Everything's
dude, my favorite was the what was it? The fucking Squid Games show, and they're like the guy got out and he was like crying, and they're like, see, this is what fucking why this shit is evil.
It's a critique of capitalism.
This is evil. See, the whole show is a critique of capitalism and it's evil. They made this guy.
It's almost like people think it's so deep, but it's like this right.
Critiquing capitalism is not deep.
Somebody said something and they was really like Twitter just found out what a game show is. And the other person's like, I can't feel bad. He chose to go on the show. They're like, he dropped out of college. It was life-changing money. Yeah, and he made the decision to risk
drop out of college.
One person wins out of what? Was it 400 Intuit games?
I didn't even fucking watch it, to be perfectly honest.
It was a fine show.
There was like 400 people in this game show. Only one person wins.
It's a show.
That's like us.
Survivor.
That's like us quitting. Yeah, it's like us dropping out of school.
For these people.
I just hate the whole. It's like, well, these guys have power and these guys don't, and that's what the story's about. It's like, yeah, it's called like a plot.
That's a plot. And guess what? Have you ever heard of Humanity?
Yeah. One thing about the
Humanity was perfect before capitalism. By the way,
yeah. There was no power.
There was no power issues.
Nobody had any struggle. There's no struggle.
People weren't just murdering people for buffalo and shit. Dude, like I forgot.
These people, man.
No, but the thing is too, the new Hunger Games was cool because it's like it also showed you the bad side of the war for the Capitol and why their mentality was like that. But it's also like, dude, it's really not that bad of an idea. Like, you guys caused 2 cities to be nuked, like 2 people die. And then someone, like, they have like a cutout scene.
Yeah, they're acting like it's the biggest thing. I mean,
it's how young they are, and I agree that part is fucked up. Like them being like 12.
That
years
part's
old,
only because
fucked up.
But like, I feel like she made the first. I mean, I don't know.
Wait, what? I don't 12.
It's like that's Rue is 12.
It's got to be 12 to 18. Which by the she only did that to make it be a young adult novel. Like, it didn't have to be kids to make any of the story like.
It just makes it more intense because it's like 2 people with so much hope and stuff. But also, like, they were starved and shit, so realistically the Capitol could just like feed them more. But it's like, it's also like the whole thing is like it's not that fucking crazy, dude. And they made it look like, oh, look at how easy it is. All you need is one fucking person who like. It's just like it's such a basic critique of capitalism.
Like it sucks. I hate those types of. I used to read those books all the time.
The new movie was fucking annoying though, because the fucking chick who ruined Snow White or whatever, whatever her name is, she's a good singer, but like the movie, she just sang the whole time. Like
she sang in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's so the old Hunger Games were. You know how like the new Hunger Games was like they have like the whole domed arena and there's so much technology and shit. Like this Hunger Games was the 10th one. So it was like when the Capitol was still like struggling with food and shit, like they were rebuilding still. It was more like Soviet-esque instead of it being like this grand-esque like peak capitalism kind of thing. It was a lot more like the Soviet Union where like the wealthy still like they got to eat and shit, but like the Capitol itself was like in shambles, like very risky for another revolution, blah, blah, blah. So they used to bring them in, throw them in like a zoo. And, like, it was more of, like, they got starved the whole way. Like, it was, like, everybody was starving still. And then they threw them into, like, a basketball arena. And then they just killed each other. It was over in, like, 15 minutes. Like, that's like, what the...
That's not bad.
So, but no one was watching it because they're like, oh, we just watched these fucking kids. And then that's why they made it, like, more of a, like, a game show where it became, like, oh, like, you interview them, you get to know them. That was all, like, Snow's ideas.
This is like that what's Dan Carlin episode Pain and Tainment, whatever, the one where he talks about how like humanity
still,
I mean,
like it used to be like half the country would come out for a hanging.
God, do you know Paris
people still get all fucking
Paris used to guillotine in 1977.
Yeah, dude, people still get all pumped up for executions. Like people are like salivating for the guy who killed the Idaho girls to be fucking.
He's innocent, by the way. He got found innocent.
No, he didn't.
He did.
Today?
That'd be awesome.
There's also no way he's innocent. They like came out with records that he was like harassing all of them on like social media and shit. And their only case is that it was a party house and he went to the house multiple times. And he might like, but it's like, why would you bring a knife sheath to a party? And like, why would it be in the room? Like,
to be fair, like,
I know certain people who might.
Like,
that's literally what I said online, and people tore me.
Wait, what did you say?
I said in a comment because
was
everyone
it
is tearing apart. Everyone's tearing apart.
Times we found people like, did you know this guy had a gun in your house? It's like we didn't know. Like,
no, there was
had a gun.
The one of the roommates was downstairs asleep the whole time, and that one like. Is like been MIA since, like no one's talking to her and no one suspects her, but like this one girl was seen at like a party, so it's all sprung it again because like in the like the affidavit or whatever, she like saw a Kohberger when he was leaving or whoever it was, leaving the fucking house. And people were like, why didn't she fucking do anything? Like, if, like, she heard people talking and then saw a stranger in her house. And literally what Joey just said, I'm like, I commented that. I'm like, in college, if you're blackout drunk, you pass it out. They all came back at like 2 a.m. from a party. Like, so like the girl could have been hammered, thought one of them was playing with the dog, another one was fighting with her boyfriend, and then there was just some random guy that someone had over.
Yeah.
Like, she probably was just like, oh, whatever, and then went to bed. And she probably said after the fact that she like locked the door and panicked, and that's why she didn't call 911. I genuinely don't think she like comprehended, because the next day she woke up at like 11, and people were like, who wakes up at 11 and like calls the police? It's like, I'm like, bro, I didn't wake up before fucking noon. Like,
were they all found just like dead in their beds?
So the first two girls were upstairs. Mm-hmm. They slept in the same bedroom. I don't know. I think they were best friends. I don't know why. But the one of the rooms had the dog in it. So he walked up to this one girl, and she was the one who was like brutally murdered. So they think like that's what the connection was, that he went in to kill her, and then had to kill everybody else.
Like just stabbed a bunch, or
one girl was basically like OJ'd, like decapitated, like completely fucked up. And then the other three were kind of more like they had defensive wounds, but like they were kind of more just killed and left. Mm-hmm. So like he killed the first girl. The other girl was trapped in bed because she was up against the wall, and that's the one he like brutally murdered. Then he went downstairs, went into the other room. One of the girls tried to fight him. Like, she came out the door, and he was coming into her bedroom door, and it was either he killed the boyfriend or her first, and then killed her. And that's the one where like the blood was oozing out of the fucking side of the house. Mm-hmm. And that's what they caught on security camera, the scream. There was like a scream, and then like they heard like a thud, and then that's where they like were able to time out where they died. To be real, dude, they have like cases, like they know exactly where he was in the house every second. I cannot believe he would be found innocent. I think he's like a Bundy kind of guy where he thinks he's wicked smart and that he's gonna beat them, but like his DNA's in there. He's stalking them on social media. He's been caught outside their house. Like, his cell phone ping was outside his house their house like 26 times in like the semester. Like, the guy was stalking him, and he probably went in thinking, oh, it's a party house. Like, if my DNA's in there, then like they can't really prove. But it's like, dude, be real.
So somebody survived?
2 roommates survived.
Did he not find them, or they just...
He just walked by one of them. So like it's a weird layout house where like this there's a basement that's on the ground floor out front, but it's on like a hill. So the second floor is on the ground floor out back. Mm-hmm. So he came in the second floor, went up to the third floor, the top floor. He didn't try to find more. He never went down to the first floor. They think realistically he went in there to kill one person and then get out. But she was in the bed with another person, and then he got like the rush and was like, I'm going to kill 2 more of them.
Jesus.
Or like people heard it and he just had to think he had to finish.
He probably heard the other girl wake up and was like, am I going to have to keep killing these? Because I don't think he was expecting the boyfriend to be there, which was like another thing.
Well, I don't think he cared. He probably just wanted to kill the one girl and then thought it would be a quick and easy out. And then the second one might have started making noise.
He had to kill the first 2 because he killed...
Yeah, but he didn't even know the second one was going to be there. So you're going in, you're trying to kill someone. Next thing you know, the other one starts screaming. Then you're like, fuck, who heard that? You hear people in the next room. Now, you got to kill those guys. And then another one, they're not moving. They're like passed out drunk. You're like,
but it was weird that he didn't kill the one girl who looked him in the face, and she was able to get like, he has like really big eyebrows and shit, and like that was like, he had like a mask on, like a face mask on.
Yeah.
And then she was like, he had wicked bushy eyebrows, like whatever, and like that was like one of the other thing is he was followed by the police. Like, you know how he got pulled over twice on the way home? He got followed by police. FBI were watching him, and he was like cleaning his car, like every inch of his car, and then he was keeping all of his personal garbage in his Ziploc bags and putting it in neighbors' trash cans.
Yeah, so he's 100% guilty.
Yeah, he didn't want, like, the only thing he could possibly say is like, I have really weird OCD, but it's like, why were you driving the car they saw leaving the scene? Like, all this shit. Like, he's definitely guilty.
Yeah.
But he's trying to drag out the trial.
I don't know, like what. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what his plan is other than I don't want to be in jail for any second. I don't have to be.
No, no. But anyway, they want to fucking kill him, and when he dies, dude, people are gonna cream. But anyway, Hunger Games isn't that bad, realistically. The new movie was fine. They also made it seem like the guy went crazy right away. Like, she walked away, and then he's like, "Where'd you go? Where'd you go?" And started freaking out. And then she like dropped the scarf that he gave her, and then like a snake bit him. He's like, "You're trying to kill me."
I don't know any of this.
Hunger Games. It's a new Hunger Games.
Oh, I thought you were still talking about the murder.
No, not the murder.
I was like, Jesus Christ, this is actually way more interesting than I thought.
No, the murder itself is really interesting, but it's also just like the thing that's interesting about it more to me is the culture behind it. Like, there's people creaming themselves over this shit where they think they're private investigators, and dude, all these people almost ruin kids' lives, dude. They're like, the ex-boyfriend did it. She was trying to call him, and then like blah blah blah. They were.
I hate
that night.
the true crime shit's crazy.
I think it's crazy when it's not a cold case. When it's an active, ongoing investigation, I think it does way more harm than good. Because, dude, the guy who murdered the girls was on YouTube, like, talk shows being like, yeah, I like am in criminal justice, and I've worked with some of the frat brothers like closely, and they all talk about like wanting to murder people. Like, dude, someone was like, I heard his voice and knew exactly who the fuck that was, and he was saying he was David whatever. He has like a wicked nasally like voice, and they're like, yeah, that's fucking that's him. But like, dude, it was so. I wish I could find the clip of the fucking him calling the fucking YouTube true crime thing, because this guy was like, really? Yeah, because the boyfriend's in that frat. Do you think it could have been him? He's like, well, I don't know. I don't know who his name was. Like, trying to throw people off on the case.
That sounds, you know what? Yeah. That sounds right.
What was her name? Justin? Yeah. Dude, these people were like calling for the death of these frat kids, dude. And they're all like...
Dude, Reddit had something like that not recently, like a while ago. I think it was for the Boston Marathon bombers. They found like some random guy, and they're like, this is him, and they're like doxing him. They're like going to his house and like harassing.
They think there's a third bomber. They think there was...
Well, there's like this one guy that's like, who probably helped them do it, or at least not he was going to bomb somebody at some point.
Like Timothy McVeigh, kind of. But the reason, you know why they haven't found that guy?
I thought they did. I thought they like...
I don't know. Maybe
I might be thinking of someone else.
But... if they do think there's someone else and they haven't found him, it's probably because he worked for the government.
I think that's what the conspiracy is.
Kind of like Timothy McVeigh. I think, to be real, the government just doesn't even do... I think it goes even deeper than that. Here's my conspiracy. I think there's the government agent who actually talks to someone who thinks they're a government agent, who then works with someone. And I think the government's like 2 or 3 fucking hands removed. I think they just have some other fucking crazy people
definitely removed
that they
enough.
Encourage. It's kind of like Mr. Robot, with that guy who's like the hacker that has with the little chinchilla thing, and then there's the FBI guy on top of him giving him directions, and then there's another guy on top of him. Like, I think it's a pyramid scheme of schizophrenics, and then
I bet you half these agents like work on their own too.
Oh yeah.
Like, I bet you the CIA would be like, you did what?
Excuse me, this is getting out of hand. And they sell them down the river.
Because they're probably like, you're a psychopath if you go to CIA.
Kind of like the Vegas thing. Vegas guy could have been a fucking agent. They burned his house down.
It's like half the guys they were trying to kidnap that Wisconsin senator or whatever.
Oh, in Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah, the Michigan governor during COVID.
And it's like, wait a minute, 80% of us are Asians. It's just like the one guy's like, I don't know about this guy. So like, nah, let's go.
They're like, who am I confusing here?
Like, wait, you're CIA?
Yeah, none of them can talk because they all think they're like Leonardo DiCaprio in Departed, where they're like the only one. That's like the best part of crime shows, when like 2 people realize they're both rats and they're like, oh, we could have been talking about this the whole time. Anyway, Aaron, you said you had topics.
What do we have for time?
I'm kind of. I don't want to talk about them.
Okay. Next week.
I wanted to start with it, but then it wasn't going there yet. So then I kind of like.
You could have started.
No, but wait, no one's fault. But I've thought about it a little too much, so I'll get the urge for next week.
Okay. Pro Cop, your kid's great if you listen. Everybody else who listens, it's fantastic. Things coming up. We didn't go to Grand Rapids, but we'll figure out something.
Rip Kissinger.
Rip Kissinger.
Rip Charlie Munger.
Conor McGregor 2024. Shia. God, I miss Shia, dude.
He's not canceled anymore.
He's not blacklisted anymore. I think we can get Shia back on the pod. See, Shia, we waited it out. Did we cut support of you? I think what we said was that we can't no longer publicly support you. But I think in private we were always pulling for you. I think you're great.
I like Tony Boy.
I don't like how you hit your girlfriend. That's bad.
Not good.
Not good. That part bad.
But if you want to
Holes,
talk
great.
about it,
If you want to talk,
or you want to just talk about holes,
you want to just talk about holes. That would
we
be
can talk about holes too.
Dude, you can come over. Is he sober? Is he a sober person? Is she in the fucking podcast thing? Is he sober?
I hope not.
And you're on your phone. Look up if Shia LaBeouf sober.
Shia.
He might be a California sober. He might be okay. He could be sober but has a few glasses of wine when he's hanging out.
Is Bill Burr still sober?
Yeah.
I listened to the most recent one. I couldn't tell. He's like, oh, I was like, dealing with addictions, blah blah blah.
I think I haven't listened to his podcast in a while. But last time I did, it sounds like he was battling the cigars, and then
Yeah, he said he still has one every day.
yeah,
Which, like, a cigar is like a lot to have every
It's
day.
a lot
You
every
might as well smoke a pack of cigarettes.
it's a lot of tobacco every day.
All right.
Anyway, Shia, come on, Jeanette McCurdy, come on,
We'll ask you questions.
Sydney Sweeney, do not take Ozempic, and Conor McGregor 2024. Thanks everybody for listening.